Today we will be talking about the redwood forest right outside of Humboldt in California, and I will be your tour guide. Humboldt Forest. Here you can find angiosperms. Angiosperms are a plant that has flowers and produces seeds enclosed with a carpel. The angiosperms are a large group and include herbaceous plants, scrubs, grasses, and most trees. Sperms are vascular plants. Angiosperm seeds are found in a flower. They also produce eggs that are fertilized and develop into a seed in an ovary that is usually a flower. This is an example of an angiosperm. This is the structure and function of an angiosperm. The stigma receives pollen. The anther filament is the pollen producing part of the plant. The petal is each of the segments of the corolla of the flower. The sepal is each part of the calyx. The receptacle is where the parts of the flower are attached. The pedicel is the stem that attaches a single flower. The ovary is the reproductive organ, and same with the style. And the ovule is the part that develops into a seed. A gymnosperm is a plant that has seeds unprotected by an ovary or fruit. Gymnosperms include the conifers, cycads, and the ginkgos. Gymnosperms are located worldwide. This is a gymnosperm seed. The thick brown layer is the seed coat. The yellow part in the middle is the food supply, and the orange part is an embryo. Seedless vascular plants are plants that contain vascular tissue but do not produce flowers or seeds. In seedless vascular plants such as ferns and horsetails, the plants reproduce using haploid unicellular spores instead of seeds. Fertilization between the gametes forms a diploid zygote. The zygote will undergo many rounds of mitosis and will give rise to a diploid multicellular plant called a sporophyte. Specialized cells of the sporophyte will undergo meiosis and produce haploid spores. The spores will subsequently develop into the gametophytes, which then undergoes mitosis, then leads to sporophyte, and that is leading to the egg and sperm, which goes to fertilization and restarts the whole process. Bryophytes are an informal group consisting of three divisions of non-vascular land plants: the liverworts, hornworts, and mosses. They are characteristically limited in size and prefer moist habitats, although they can survive in drier environments. They can also be found almost everywhere in the world. This is a non-vascular plant. The capsule is a type of simple, dry, rarely flesh dehiscent fruit. Seta is a part of the saurophyte. The leaves are the site of the food-making process. The main axis is a compound of structure, and the rhizoids are small branching hyphae. Fungus is any member of the group of eukaryotic organisms that includes microorganisms such as yeasts and molds, as well as the more familiar mushrooms. Fungi can be found outside in forests, gardens, and even in your own backyard. Some are good to eat, but some are deadly. They can also grow on your feet, causing them to become itchy, known as athlete's foot. The outer shell of the mushroom is called the cap. The texture on the mushroom is called the scales. Underneath is the gills. The circle on the mushroom cap are the tubes. Underneath that are the pores. Around the mushroom is a ring. The stem of the mushroom is called the stipe. The scales are at the bottom, and the vulva is around the scales. A protist is like any eukaryotic organism that is not an animal, plant, or fungus. The protists do not form a natural group or clade, but are often grouped together for convenience, like algae or invertebrates. They can also be found in tree trunks and other organisms, or in moist and wet areas. The orange groove at the top is called the oral groove. The blue and yellow star in the middle are the contractile vacuole. The greenish blue big dot in the middle is the large nucleus, and the small one next to it is the small nucleus. The green dots next to it are the food vacuoles, and around the outside of the organism is cilia. That concludes our tour for today. Thanks a bunch.